Now, this is going to be on pendulums, which I never went over before, but I have a story with this. When I was a little kid, I was probably 6, 7 years old, or thereabouts, there was a bunch of young ladies in my mother's house, and they were probably 18 to 21 years old, and they were giggling and carrying on, and they took a needle and a thread, and they were holding it over the wrist of one of the young ladies who was pregnant. And this was supposed to ascertain whether she was going to have a boy or a girl. And the story was that if it rotated on the right wrist, you were going to have a boy child would be born, and if it was the left wrist, it would be a girl. And the young ladies were saying how their aunt did this, and it was accurate as she had a boy. Of course, actually, what they're using is a pendulum, and you don't need the wrist. You just need boy or girl in your mind, and the pendulum will tell you what the right answer is. But just to go back a little in time, I did a video recently, which I put on TikTok and YouTube, and I was talking about dowsing rods. And they become divining rods when you make predictions with them. And if you're just looking to find a oil well under the ground or a water pipe or a lost ring, it's dowsing. But when you make predictions and you're trying to ascertain what's going to happen, it becomes a divining rod. So I just want to make that distinction. But these are made out of a cardboard from a coat hanger and loosely put on here so it can turn. And the coat hanger cut and at a 90-degree angle. And it floats in your hand, and you can ask it yes or no questions. Now, here's how to make a pendulum. This one's made just with a stone and a string, and I made it myself. And you can ask it yes questions. And with me, if it goes to the right, it's yes. And if it rotates to the left, towards my left arm, it's no. And here's another one that I made. And this is weighted real good. This is probably my favorite. And the same here. It's just a string, like a key type of thing, key holder, and a little weight. And this over here was like a copy of the Eiffel Tower. Same thing, it's weighted real nice. And this one here is a professional one. And what you do primarily, this is all divination. Even what the girls did was divination, because we're not looking for something that exists. We're trying to predict something that's going to happen or the answer to something. And actually, somebody could use this on the internet, and the girl will ask, will my boyfriend come back, and say, no, I don't think he will. Will I meet somebody new, and it goes this way, and that's a yes, and so forth. And like I said, with the divining rods, that you can increase your intuitive ability by asking, like you take a deck of cards, and you say, is this card going to be a red card? And it says yes. And you say, is this card going to be a black card? And it says yes again. And is this card going to be a picture card? And it says yes again. And after a while, you won't need the divining rod or the pendulum. A pendulum is actually a weighted cord, and usually you only use one, and the divining rods you're using two. But I told the story about how I did a demonstration for the water witch, and you can look at that video. It's a past video. And with this, you can build your intuitive ability. There was a lady, like I said, after a while she said, you don't need the divining rod or whatever. She was ascertained what a yes or no was in her mind when somebody asked her a question without using the rods. But if you're doing a lot of people, the rods probably make it easier, the divining rods. But that's it for now, and I'll show you more principles and theories about pendulums, divining rods, probably in the future. But I just wanted to go over this.